Hi guys, it's your favorite mystic, TheSirenSayz, and welcome back to my commentary channel where I speak about movie, TV, and soon-to-come books, and everything I like, dislike, and the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything all throughout and in between those frames of media. Hey, here we go. It is another Wednesday. Maybe I did double upload. Okay, if I did, you just saw the bio video. Good for you. You should watch this video immediately after the bio video. Today we're going to be talking about Sabrina. I spoke about Danny. That was part 1. This is Sabrina. I don't know if I'm going to be talking for long. It is what it is. Disclaimer, they're just my opinions. My thoughts on what I remember. There could be a little Mandela effect because this show has been going on for over 6 years at this point, so I may have misremembered things or forgotten certain plot points entirely, but I'm going to speak about what I remember and how it impacted me and what I think about this person's character. This might not be very long because I don't really think very highly of Sabrina at the moment, but let's talk about that. So, Sabrina works at the bank. You know, she's a manager at the bank or a supervisor. She's in some slightly higher level position, which puts her above Maurice. Maurice is practically her, she is Maurice's boss. So what Tyler Perry refuses to do with her is to make her interesting in any way, shape, or form. The only interesting thing about her is her clothes, because they make fun of it every week. Tyler, what's going on with her choices in men? Like, what's happening? So, we have Calvin. And let's just get into Calvin for a second, right? At first, it's promising. He's handsome, he's suave, he's interested, she's interested. Then, things get to swanging, right? He seems almost perfect. Which is why I keep worrying that they're going to be endgame, because at first he was perfect until it got to the bedroom. They're kind of the opposite of Danny and Preston. Danny and Preston were a nervous sort of, I don't know, but then in the bedroom it was perfect. Whereas with Calvin and Sabrina, it was the opposite. They were perfect outside of the bedroom, but then when they got into the bedroom, then it got nervous and I don't know if this is going to work. So there's a parallel there. I doubt he did that on purpose, but there is a parallel there. They get into the bedroom and she realizes that he's very open-minded, is what I'll say. Peter, from the videos I've seen, sis, I don't know if you like Calvin. Why do you not like Calvin? You would ask me. The reason why I don't like Calvin is because Sabrina doesn't like Calvin, and also because of some of the stuff Calvin has done. It's not just all, well girl, if you ain't into him then let him go. No. Calvin has 2 dads. That has enabled him to be more open-minded just by default. Because of that, he was freer. He frequented gay clubs and he's met a lot of people, and so he's not necessarily as restricted. He's not scared of certain things that other men of the noir complexion are completely frightened by because they feel like it makes them rainbow. Calvin will dibble and dabble in certain things and not feel the urge to be rainbow at all, which is actually an interesting plot point. Here's one thing I will say about Tyler Perry. If you think about some of the storylines, not all of them, but some of them in retrospect, it could have been really interesting. And you know how he loves to preach at people with his messages? This could have been something that he taught people. You don't have to be rainbow to like this or that. You don't have to be closed-minded to like this or that. Or it doesn't mean that you're gay if you like this or that. But no, we don't get that. Instead, we get the other side of the messaging, which is, if he's into that, then he's gay. And I'll say, I played into that. I remember in some of my older videos, I was like, girl, he's sus. And that's not because him being open is a bad thing, but it's just because you don't normally see a lot of guys who are into the things he's into and stay straight. I would have at least preferred, in my personal opinion, right, that Tyler Perry either made Sabrina okay with it, like this is a learning moment for her, she had to learn, or he just made Calvin come out as bi. And here's the reason why, right? I feel like it would kind of make sense for Calvin to be bi. I don't know why they keep pushing that he's straight. Like, number one, here's how it would have worked if he was completely straight. Then he wouldn't have gotten that twirl by Jabari. Oh, you remember that? Yeah, that wouldn't have happened. Okay, Tyler keeps making him weak to a certain extent, and then being like, oh, but he's still masculine. And here's the thing, he can be weak and masculine, but the mixture of weak, masculine, and sexually open-minded is not done well enough for me to buy that he's straight. I feel like it would have to be done, all those things mixed together. It would have had to have been packaged differently, all the gifts in the box, for me to just take that, in my personal opinion. Because I can take it, it just wasn't written well. So me, I'm just thinking, okay, to salvage the poor writing that's already here, just make him come out as bi. I believe he likes women, I believe that. But I believe that if the right nigga comes along, he gonna like him too. What's wrong with that? He can like both. And to me, that would be more believable, and it would work with the stupid storyline that's going on with him now. They're just me giving Tyler Perry tips on what he can do to salvage the little bitty storylines he got. Because he's not going to get back with Sabrina, so you might as well give him a love interest since you're not kicking him off this damn show. Anyways, she realizes that she's really not into it. So she spends seasons going back and forth with him. He's great, but the sex. But actually, once the sex is normal and he's not trying to do some weird stuff with his prostate, it's really good. But then the sex. And then one time when we kind of sort of weren't talking, I saw him with that white girl, and I made him tell me what he do, and the sex. And oh my god, the sex. Sabrina. I saw someone say that they knew that Calvin wasn't right for her, or that they should stop this whole process, because she was like drinking. I think it was around the time when we were meeting IT Store for the first time, right? She was drinking at the strip club, and she had admitted that she felt like she would have to be in an impaired state to do all the things that he wanted. Like, in order to make him happy, she couldn't be sober for that. I think that's very interesting, and I feel like Tyler Perry should have gone into that, like, because Sabrina is usually the one who's very level-headed, but to see her drunk and being like, I'm gonna have to be on something to do this with him, like, where is that coming from, right? The person says, if you feel like you have to be on drugs to be with somebody, or drinking to be with somebody, then you just shouldn't be with them. I agree. If you feel like you would have to find some way to come out of your body to give somebody what they want, don't be with them. I agree with that. But here is Calvin, still here on the sidelines, waiting for us. Waiting. Like, what are you waiting for, my nigga? Leave. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen when he see Rich for the first time. That'll be hilarious. But let's get on to the second part, because these girls, they barely have a personality. They are mainly just the state of their relationships. Jabari, he was her type, apparently. From what I can remember, that's the type that she used to go for in college, so she was immediately into him. But the writing and acting was poor, so she was kind of doing this whole, no, stop talking to me, don't touch me, no, don't touch me, stop talking to me. But then when he was at her apartment, because he could feel a vibe, and I was like, what vibe? But apparently there was supposed to be a vibe, it just wasn't acted out properly. Ebony, please do better. Anyway, no, talking to me, don't touch me, but also put that eggplant in the rose petals, please. So he put the giant eggplant in the rose petals, and she was enjoying it, but then her friends busted on her. I've always never liked that, because I want to know what would happen if she had fully gone through with it, right? I feel like her friends busting in on her forced her into a certain, like, it forced her out of whatever moment was starting. And honestly, I didn't even really like that scene, because like I said before, she kept acting like she didn't want it. So while that scene was happening, she kind of had this look during, like she wasn't enjoying it as much, well, from what I can remember. So after that, Calvin comes into the band. The next day. He's jealous, of course, because he can see, that something may have happened between her and Jabari. And Calvin does what Calvin does, which is act very mean, act like he and Sabrina are both girls, and he starts grabbing on her. It's giving abusive. Like when his dad died and he decided to take it out on Sabrina, who was taking care of him. It was one of the few times Sabrina was being a genuinely nice person, right? Like we could see her personality show through in that moment. And he called her a bitch as well. He said all sorts of terrible things about Sabrina, but all y'all want to forget that because Calvin, once again, he put his hands on Sabrina, grabbing her up. So Jabari said, "Oh hell nah," and gave him a good hit. He tore like a ballerina and fell on the ground. Then for some reason Sabrina calls the police. And after that, Jabari gets vengeful. And he threatens her with a sexual harassment suit. And this is what I was talking about in the last video when I said that Tyler Perry likes to invalidate the feelings of his characters. So just like Bayo had a reason to be upset with Sabrina for whatever his logic was, and then Tyler Perry made sure he took it too far, Jabari had a reason to be upset. Yes, he was pushing up on Sabrina, but apparently Sabrina liked it. He is Sabrina's type. But then, after he defends her from Calvin, Sabrina calls the popo on him. And so he's like, well, I'm going to put you in. And I don't agree with that. So Tyler Perry makes him get Sabrina in trouble with her job. And so now that invalidates how strange their entire co-worker boss relationship was. And we couldn't dive into that and dissect that. We can't do anything with that because he took it too far, right? I think Sabrina also took it too far by calling the police on him. But he took it too far. They both took it too far, but he took it further by lying, right? Then, there's a rest period. She acts like Calvin has never done anything to her bad ever, and she's still around Calvin. Now, her friendship with Maurice confuses me. I don't really get it. I know Maurice cares about her. I'm not saying that I don't see that. But the issue for me is that I don't fully understand how their friendship started. Is it because Maurice wanted to use her and he could tell she was really nice? We'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but nice-ish. Because Maurice is not a very good person. But yeah. Her friendship with Maurice is Let's get into her friendship with the other girls. I am glad to report that I've seen on the internet that other people have seen that Karen just likes to trail behind. Sorry, not Karen. Sabrina just likes to trail behind Karen and Andy. She wants to be in with them. I told y'all that Sabrina is just settling for Danny, bro. I know I was harsh on Danny in her video. That's just because she's acting up right now, but in later videos you will see me say that like she is the victim in majority of her friendships, bro. Like, they're not good friends to her, starting with her closest friend Sabrina. I don't remember which episode, but I think Zach had told Danny at one point that like all the girls talk about her behind her back. Of course, McGee's like, what do they say? Like, it's not like terrible things, but they make fun of her, They make fun of her mannerisms. They make fun of her vices. Because we all know that at this point, we know that she's smoking and drinking because of past traumas from college. She could have been smoking before then, but we all know that Danny can't go a day without puffing a little something. I'm pretty sure that codependence came from trauma. And also more recent trauma, right? They make fun of how loose she can be with her rose petals. Like, they make fun of her mannerisms and her attitude. And Sabrina does it too. When she finds out about something from Andy or from Karen, and they're like, I guess we have to tell Danny. She doesn't say it like, why'd you say it like that? There's no defending Danny. She acts like she understands why they might be hesitant and then just says that she'll take care of it. Like she's like their bodyguard or their middleman protecting them from Danny. Girl, sis, do better. Sabrina is one of the most judgmental people ever. Because she masks it, right? Andy is bougie, so it shows up with Andy a little bit more. But with Sabrina, it's like covert. She's nice nasty. Very nice nasty. So she'll judge everybody. The only person she has not judged is Maurice. I think that's very weird. You should be judging him the most, sister. Okay, that's all I gotta say about that. She's a hypocrite. She's judgmental. Here's what I want. I want her to realize she's judgmental. I want her to go through a mini arc where she works on that. Where she tries to mend her relationship with Danny, because it's not cute. I know we're in this place where like they're all kind of fine right now, but relationship is trash. I'm gonna have to make a video about all the girls together and their friendship, because absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, sis, no. So she needs to fix that. And then she needs to work it out quick, because I don't see her and Rich really being something that I can enjoy with her attitude right now. It's not cute. Also, how'd you get your job back? I mean, first, you were accused of SA. It was a false accusation, but how did they know? You actually were with this nigga, right? Then, you were slightly involved in the bank robbery. I'm sorry, if I was your boss, you'd be out of there by the second thing. Like, I'm just... like... You're lucky! You're lucky, Sabrina. You're very lucky. And you need to use that luck to better yourself, because you're getting on my nerves, okay? Okay? Since I have to make somebody else my favorite since Danny is demoted, you need to do better, because you're getting on my nerves too. Okay. Now, this is not to say that she's the only one who's wrong in a relationship. She's not. Like I said, I don't like Calvin either. He has a lot of disgusting ways about him, and I wish he would just leave Sabrina alone. Not because Sabrina's a bad person, no, but because he's just not good enough for her. He has stuff he needs to go to therapy. Yeah. He needs to go to therapy and work out his stuff. Now, he's not nearly as rude or as violent as he used to be. But you know what happens with Calvin. They never give him enough character development for us to know what's going on with him. It took 6 years for us to find out he was in real estate. Really, Tyler Perry? Really, Tyrone? In any case, what do I want for her and Rich? I want something sweet. I want something real. I want something that's not dripped in chocolate love. I just want something real. I don't want propaganda. I don't want bus rides and cheap flowers. All of these women, except Danny, because I'm not sure. Most of these women, well, let's just say Andy and Sabrina make a lot of money. I want to see the men they're dating reflect that. If you want the poor storyline or the poorer storyline, like not rich, fine. Danny and Karen, who cares? But with the women who make the most money in the group, I would like to see their dating history reflect that. I'm just saying. All right? And stop with these anecdotal in college. If you're going to give us more about these characters, just do what you gotta do. Now, I'm also aware that new writers will be coming in by next season, and there will be no more Tyler Perry heading the helm. A lot of people are excited about this, and I'm not completely sure why. They could make it worse. I'm just not going to assume they're going to make it better, but we will see what will go on. I think 20 minutes is about enough to talk about Miss Cerebri. But yeah, I've always thought she was really ditzy and strangely judgmental and hypocritical for how she likes to portray herself. But I want to see her make a change. And now that Bio is gone, hopefully she won't be annoying me as much, because it's the her and Bio thing that was really inflaming my nerves. So Bio is gone, so I doubt she will annoy me as much. But these are my true thoughts on Sabrina. Please tell me your thoughts down below. Of course, the next video will be about Andy. Come on now. Why not Karen? Because I spent so much time ranting about Karen in the last couple years, I almost don't even need to make a video. My thoughts haven't changed. You know what? No, not really. But I will though. But not immediately. In any case, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And thank you so much for watching and staying here with me, guys. Of course, I'll see you on Saturday. That's Sistas Saturday. We speak on the next episode. Goodbye, my sires. Sue.